Alright, so this is our game, Cave Escape. The objective of the game is to simply escape the cave alive. The way you start it up is you get your 3 room tiles placed, and you give everyone their figurines, so everyone just pick a figure.
I have the one that's...
You got the blue guy. This is the monster, you can't be the monster. You do that one. There you go. So this is just your figure, so just know who you are and then place yourself in the center of the board. So once you all have your figure, you're going to make sure all your stats are set to 2, and we're going to just pick a player to go first. The way that I'll go first since I know what I'm doing. The way that you do this is on your turn, you're going to roll dice equal to what your speed stat is. So at the start, everyone should be 2, and that'll be how far you move. Now, in our game, we want the dice to only be the numbers 0, 1, and 2. We couldn't find dice for that, so we made a little cheat sheet to change what you roll into those numbers. So I rolled a 0 and a 1, so I have 1 movement that turn. So I can move 1 space. And then I would end my turn. So it would be the next person's speed. What? Oh yeah, and then I add my sanity stats to that. Thank you, I forgot about that. So I have 1 movement plus 2 movement because I had an extra sanity. And so what I can do, since I'm at the edge here, I can discover a new room. Discovering a room costs 1 movement, and then moving into it costs another. So now I'm at 0 movement, and it'd be at the end of my turn. So whoever would want to go next, you roll your 2 die. So you got that would be a 2 and a 0, so you move 4 spaces.
Okay.
And the name of the game is to just find the tiles that have the escape rooms on them, the escape tiles. That's 1, 2. You could discover a room.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So do you want to be oriented like that, or like that, or like that? Because that's an exit that way and that way. Go that way.
Yeah.
So that's 3 movement, and then you could move into it if you would want. So another thing, if you end your turn in a room and you still have movement left over, you can search that room for an item. You'll just drop the item card deck. So you want to go? So that's a 3 plus your sanity is 5. So you can move 5 spaces, whichever way you want. And you can't go that way, that way, that way, that way, and that way.
I'll go this way.
1,
And
then discover a room.
yeah, discover.
And you orient it however you want. 2, 3. You want to discover another room?
What did you say about searching?
If you end your turn and you have any movement remaining, you can search the deck for.
So if I do discover a new room, we'll have 1 more.
You'll still have 2 movement if you discover 1 more room.
Okay, I'll move into it now.
So this is actually an escape room. So you can move into it and leave the zone. You win. You're one of the winners. So you can have the number of winners can max out at 1 less than the number of players playing, or it could be 0 people. So your turn. What? Yeah, you can.
When you say that you win, does that mean that you won the game, or does that mean that you win a point?
You are one of the winners of the game. So there's no point system. It's either you win the whole thing or
So
you
is he retired then? Or
yeah,
what?
he's retired. He wins.
Yeah.
You just right off the bat, you got real lucky with the cards.
Okay.
Right, so you got a 0 to 2, so you would move 4 spaces with your sanity.
I guess.
1.
I can go.
You can go to that room now. 2, and the escape rooms are closed off once they're discovered, so only 1 person can escape through that room.
So I can open up on that.
Yeah, one on that side and that side. We need your little wordy, but yeah. Yeah. So 1 more.
Yeah.
Shuffle those very poorly.
Okay, wait, let me.
So that's 2 more people have escaped. So it'd be Vince's turn. At the end of Raven's turn will be when the next step of the game comes in. So you got really good. That's 6 in total movement. That's the max you can get right now.
You discovered.
What, you discovered you did. Okay, so put it right there. All right. 2.
3.
So that one's already taken. That's an escape there. So 3, 4. You get 2 more.
5. And then I'd like to choose an item.
5. You don't move into it and draw an item. Okay. So you drew your item. Your item is you found
Found
nothing. So yeah, the half of the item cards have nothing in them. So finding an item is a very risky thing. Then the other half of the item cards are incredibly valuable items. So yeah, so now it's Raven's turn. Just shove them a little more so that we don't get more escapes in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in our deck. 40 cards. Okay. So that's a 1 plus 2, so you got 3 plus 0. So the sanity. Yeah, 1. Yeah, so you get 3 movement in total.
So.
1, 2. You're gonna discover a room?
Yeah.
All right. There you go. So yeah, now it's my turn again, and at the start of my turn, the monster spawns on the map. And so the way that the monster works, at the end of my turn, I'm going to roll dice equal to the number of turns that had passed since the last time the monster moved. So in my case, it would be 1. If I don't move the monster again, it would be 2. Then it'd be 3, 4.
Wait, what?
It's well, I'll explain it as it goes on. And if you roll a certain number, the monster will start to move in the direction of the nearest player. And if it takes the same place as a player, it attacks them and they lose 1 sanity. They lose 1 stamina. If their stamina hits 0, they die.
Oh, I see.
So on my turn, I would roll my speed stat again. So I got 2, so I move 4 spaces. 1, I would discover a room. 2, 3, and then I'll end my turn there to get an item. I found nothing again. But then at the end of my turn, I will roll 1 dice because it's only been 1 turn since the monster's been discovered. And I only rolled a 1. And I think in our rules, I say I have to roll to 3 or higher to give the monster a turn. So the monster doesn't take his turn yet. Now it's your turn. Which is impossible with 1 die. So.
Yeah.
So you rolled a 1 and a 2, and you have a sanity of 2, so you can move 5 spaces.
Give me a room here.
So 1. How do you want it oriented, like that?
Yeah,
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. 1. You want to move into it?
yeah.
2.
Give me another one. Can I go this way?
This way. They're supposed to be T's.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Okay. So 3, 4, and you can either stop moving and get an item, or you can discover another room.
Yeah, let me get an item.
All right. You got. That's 2 parts. You got the confidence hat, and so when you get the confidence hat, your sanity immediately becomes 3 instead of 2, and it cannot be lowered by any means. If you are in the same room as the monster, your sanity drops to 0, so you don't get your bonus movement anymore. And so now at the end of your turn, you would roll 2 dice for the monster because I didn't get it last turn, and that is only 1, so it's still not the monster's go yet. And the number of dice just keeps increasing until the monster finally gets a turn. So you won. So it goes to Vince's turn. Okay. So you get your speed and and it just keeps going like this until either 5 people have escaped or the remaining players are dead.
And escape is equivalent to having 1.
Yes.
So 2 plus
2, so you got 6 again. You got 6s.
That should be a.
Oh no, that's not 6. Yeah, that's a 4 total.
Okay, so let me ask you a question here. So, when somebody has 1 and they're sitting out, you start out with 6 players. You say that it's built to have 6 players.
Yes.
If you have bystanders, would they be able to come in and then just start, or do they have to start?
We only have 5 escape rooms, 5 of these tiles, so
Okay.
there would only be able to be 5 people who can.
Okay, so per game.
Per
in other
game,
words.
yeah.
All right, okay.
Oh, you got the confidence hat? Yeah, so you can raise your sanity up to 3. You already did. It's your turn. Oh, you didn't roll your monster, so 3 dice for the monster now because the monster hasn't moved yet. Really hope it doesn't get past 4. You didn't bring the honey. That's 4. So the monster gets to move. So since you summoned the monster, you get to roll for it. So its speed stat, I believe, is 2 or 3. I can't remember. Look. I changed it from what we said. Roll 2 dice for the movement. Yep. It's the same as us, 0, 1, 2. So that's a 2 and a 0. So the monster gets to move 2 spaces towards the nearest player, which is this one. And it is in the same room as you. So your sanity is now 0, and your stamina has been reduced to 1.
And the monster doesn't take a movement to
So wait,
Yeah, the monster just attacks if it's in the same room as you.
so you said that with this, my sanity can never go down,
Your sanity cannot go down.
even
So
if he's in the room with
even
me?
if he's in the same room as you, so your sanity is safe.
So my sanity is down to 0 and what's my
Your stamina is 1.
One turn. I got it.
Yeah, and you get to keep those unless I think the rule book says otherwise. The confidence has a permanent item, which is one of the most powerful ones. So it's my turn now, or is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's your turn. So you roll your 2, but you don't have sanity anymore, so you can't add to it.
Okay, so what I think we should do here, just so we sort of hold within the time, is you don't have a sense of how long it takes to play out.
I think it should take around a half hour,
Half an hour, okay.
45 minutes.
So what I think maybe we can do, just for the sense of everybody to get a feel for this, because then it would be, there's the ability to actually form a discussion around it. So if we can,
Switch up.
if we can swap out some people, so those that won, then we can replace them. So it would be Michael, and then it would be Merrick as well.
Yeah, so you guys come in, we'll just put you guys as avatars somewhere deeper in, so you don't immediately get attacked by the monster, and then shuffle the escape from the left.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking here is that, in other words, I think what we can do is we can actually start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, okay.
from that. So, and then if you want to come over here, and then you can also participate. We just start from scratch once again.
So I lose my hat?
If everyone loses all of they found nothings and their confidence hats. So I'll, Grievous, General Grievous doesn't get to get put in right now, so,
What's the other 2 arms?
but, I just got.
Oh,
I thought so first.
I'm glad I could find that.
General
for
Grievous.
monster. Yeah. You haven't
And
seen
then
her.
maybe we can move on just a little bit, so that you're not right in the middle.
Did you take the room to visit everything else?
No.
Wait, is that all 3 of them?
Oh, no.
There. And so does everyone pick your character and put in the middle so you know which one's you? A little closer. What? That torso is a Guido torso in Star Wars. That's why his hands are green.
I'll be the
This one? Yeah. All right. And so who wants to go first this time? Is that what first?
I got it.
All right. 1, 2 die. There you go. So that's the 0 and a 1. 2 sanity, so you get to move 3 spaces.
All right, give me there, and then a key. Yeah.
Do you want to orient it like that or like that? Or like
That way.
this way?
No, other way.
This
Yeah.
way? All right. So 1, 2, do you want to move into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3, that's your movement. Now it's your turn. So you get, you have 2 speeds, roll 2 dice. So that's a -3, 0. You have 3 as well. No, 3, I'm including Sandy in your own, so I get 3 spaces. 1, discover a room. 2, and then 3 to move into it if you would like. Where you for an item? You can search for an item. So the item shuffle, so you can just draw the top card. What is it?
I found nothing.
You found nothing. Yay! All right, Mary, it's your turn. So that's a 1, 1, and you have 2 sanity, so you move 4 spaces. So 1 to move into it, and you want to discover the room. Okay, so 2 to discover it, 3 to move into it. And then you can either discover a room or search for an item with your last movement. All right. What did you get? So mysterious powder you can use whenever you like. It lowers your sanity by 1, but it raises your speed by 1. It's a trade-off kind of item. So it's a Found some mischievous white powder. So you got a 2 and a 1, so you get 5. Why are you rolling so high?
Because just like the cheating.
I think he's cheating too. I mean, they are his dice, so maybe he just knows how to
They're loaded
roll.
dice.
Yep. So
Loaded just red.
That's a
3.
actually this.
Oh, makes 3, 4, and then you have 5, so you can search. You get mysterious powder. Wait, Raven, it's your turn.
Alright, so what's the mysterious power?
If you use it when you'd like rather than right away, when you use it, you discard it. It raises your speed stat by 1, but it raises your sanity by 1. So you have a chance of getting the whole you roll 2, so you get 4.
Okay.
Is your sanity. Let's sing it.
You use it immediately.
Use it when you want.
Is it permanent?
The increases are permanent. That's an escape room.
Oh, okay.
So Raven wins. Raven's one of the winners. So there you go.
How do you know what
you
an escape room?
We forgot to color this one, but they have little yellow
Like a
notches
G.
there. Yeah, it's slightly discolored right there. And so once you discover an escape room, it collapses and can't be used again. All right. So did I go first? I didn't go yet. No. So I roll. It's a 0 and 2, so I get 4. Yeah, it's still on the board, just it's collapsed. 1, 2, and then I'll discover that room for 3. And then I'll search for an item in the room for 4. I found nothing, yay!
Yeah.
So now it's your turn.
Cody, aren't you playing, haven't you played yet?
Oh, no.
Okay, you should be, Tariq, you should be letting him do
And on your turn, Grievous, the monster, not Grievous, spawns in. So that's 0 and a 1, and your sanity is 2, so you get to move 3 spaces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You said 3 spaces?
3 spaces, yep. So you can discover the room on either side. Or
I'm gonna
move.
discover room on that side.
So that's the discover it's 1, move into it's 2. And then you can either discover another room or search for an item. Found nothing. Beautiful. All right, so what's your next? Oh no, wait, you do need to roll for the monster. I forgot. So roll 1 die. I mean, it's impossible for it to be something on 1 die, but that didn't happen. So now it's your turn. So that is a 0 and a 2. What's your sanity still? 2. So you can move 4 spaces. 1, 2, discover room. All right. And do you want to move into it or search that room for an item? Move into it. All right, it's your turn. So your speed, oh no, wait, I keep forgetting, you need to roll 2 dice for the monster now. Let me see, so that's a 1 and a 0, so the monster still doesn't move. So Merrick, now it's your turn. That's a 0 and a 2, your sanity is, I believe, is 2, right? So you have 4 movement. So you're gonna discover that room. So here's your room, and then a second movement to move into it, so that's 2. And you want to discover the next room. All right, so here's your card. And then I believe you have 1, yeah, you have 1 left. So you can either move into that room or you can search this room for an item. Okay. You move into that room. All right. That's your turn, Vince. You already won, right, Raven?
Yeah.
And you need to roll 3 dice for the monster. So here's that 3rd one. Where's the 4th dice? See, that's a 0, that's a 2 and a 0, so it still didn't summon. Ooh. We're pushing the limits now. Next turn, I'm almost
Start by using my powder.
So your speed is now 3 instead of 2, and your sanity is now 1 instead of 2.
Okay, so I'll take 3 dice then.
Yep.
So I understand that when the player is going to determine their move, it's 2 dice, and when you are going to determine what the monster is going to roll, it's 3 dice.
The monster roll varies on how many turns it's been since the last time the monster succeeded. So when it first summons, it's 1 dice, and then since it doesn't happen on
First roll the 3 dice, shouldn't you roll a 4th one?
on his monster for his monster roll, he should roll 4. But so it'd be 1 die, then 2 die, then 3 die, then 4 die, and if it goes past that, 5 die and 6 die until eventually someone rolls a combined total of more than 3,
Oh,
and then it'd be the monster's roll. And then on your turn, you don't always roll 2. If you get the mysterious power, your speed goes up by 1, so you would roll 3 dice instead. So there are a couple items, but for the most part,
So can your speed go down?
your speed,
Okay.
I don't think your speed can go down.
He's okay.
No, your speed can't go down temporarily if someone gets the coin and uses it on you.
Okay, so in that case, you'd only roll 1 die.
Yes, you can only roll 1 die. Is that for the monster?
That's for the monster.
Right. What did he roll for his movement? So that's that one and that one.
Yeah.
If he can move 4 spaces in the direction of the nearest player. So it's either me or him, and because you rolled it, you get to pick.
Which one?
Which one do you want? Do you want to hit me, or do you want to hit him?
Actually, all these people.
That's
Equal.
I'm 2 spaces away. I'm 2 spaces away. Yeah, I'm 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can always pick yourself. So he has to move towards the nearest one, and if there's a tie, you get to pick. So I take my sanity is now 0, so I don't get the bonus movement anymore. My sanity is now 1. So I'm in not a good situation.
Nope.
Now it's my turn. Now I don't have any sanity to add to this roll. I got 2 movement. Oh boy. 1, 2, and because the monster moved last turn, we're down to just 1 die to move it again. And so I got a 0, so the monster doesn't move. So now it's your turn again. And you keep going like this until either 5 people escape or the remaining people on the board get murdered by the monster. So that's a 2 and a 0, and your sanity is 2, so you get to move 4 spaces.
He's smart. I'm gonna discover room over there.
Alright. As far away as possible.
Yeah.
1 movement to discover it. 2 to get into it. I'm dead next turn.
Yeah, discover.
3 to discover that one. You can either move into it or find an item.
Moving into it.
Alright.
Getting here for everyone.
Get away from one here. Alright. That's your turn.
Okay.
You need to roll 2 dice for monster as well. Don't forget that. That is 2 and a 2. It's the monster's turn.
Hello.
Ah,
So do I roll again?
you roll 2 dice for the monster. I'm really hoping it only rolls 1. Really hoping. Roll 2 on that. So I'm 2 spaces away from it, so it moves onto me, and it kills me, and so I died.
Okay, that means that you lost.
I've lost. Yes, I've lost this game. All right, so now it's your turn. So that's a 1 and a 2, and your sanity is 2, so you get 5.
Discover.
All right, so that's 1 to discover. That's a dead end. And you don't have to move into it. 1 movement to discover, 1 to move into a room. So you're
Alright, guys, turn back around.
sure. Yeah. So
Maybe move back.
yep, so that'd be 2 to go there.
Discover.
3 to discover that one. 4 to move into it. And then you have 1 movement left. You can either discover another room or search for an item. Discover this one. Discover a room. And so you don't get to move into it though. You just get to find it. So now, Merrick, it's your turn. So that's a 2 and a 1, along with your sanity, which I believe is 2, so you get 5. So you're going to discover. So discovering is 1, moving into it would be 2. Discovering the next one would be 3.
Is that how it works?
And then moving into it would be 4. Then you can either discover another room or search for an item. Okay. Found nothing. And you were, oh yeah, monster roll. So you didn't do monster roll, did you? I mean, it's just 1 dice, so it wouldn't have worked anyways. So Merrick, roll 2 dice for the monster. It's impossible to roll 3 dice. And the monster moves again. It moves. It rolled. You guys rolled exactly 3. So the nearest player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. So it's moving towards him.
Go get him.
So roll 2 dice to see how far the monster moves. If it rolls 2 2s, it can hit him. It did not. It rolled a 2 and a 1, so it's in the space directly
Next door.
for you.
Oh. Cody. Wow, I'm playing the beginning of the week. Not working. How you doing, man?
There is an item in the deck called the meat. If someone has it and uses it, the monster on their next turn is attracted to the square it's used in. So if you want to search the item pool and try and save him,
Dice cubes. And those ones. Or this one.
there's a handful of items we haven't got to, so at the end of the game, we never get to. We'll go through what each item does. So that's a 1, a 0, and a 2 for your speed. So that's a 3 in total, but you only have 1 sanity now, so you have 4 spaces.
Okay.
1. Move my stuff out of the way. 2. Oh, you get to escape.
Oh.
3.
Gone.
Boom, you're out of there. So now there's only 3 players left. You might. You do still roll a monster roll though. I believe it's only 1 die, so it can't work anyway. So, although the monster didn't work. Now it's your turn. You get 2 for your speed, I believe. So that is 2 movements. So you can discover a room and move into it, or discover a room and search for an item.
I'm gonna discover a room and move into it.
You got very lucky. So congratulations, you won.
Attaboy, Cody.
Boom.
You're the third winner.
I'm the only one who died so far. Now it's your, you still roll the monster, it's 2 die. So your monster does not activate that turn. It did not roll fire.
How you feel, Leo?
I'm just gonna get lost.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the monster is real far away, so you guys are pretty much safe from that now. Unless, something awful happens. So that's a 1 and a 1. Your sanity is still 2, right? So that's 4 in total. Your movement.
Move into this room.
1. Discover room? Yeah. Like that or like that? Alright, so that's 2 movement. Do you want to move into it?
Yeah.
So that's 3 movement. You have 1 movement left. You can either search for your item.
I'm gonna search for it.
Alright, you get nothing.
Again.
Half of the cards in the deck are you found nothing.
There's a
You
lot
have
of
50% you have a 50% chance to find nothing, but then how many did you roll? You rolled 3 for the monster.
Just the total 3 or higher.
Yeah, yes, you had 3 or higher. And that's a 1, a 1, and a 1, so the monster does move, so roll 2 die for the monster. It rolled a 2 and a 2, so that's as far as it can move. And who is closest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So America's closest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Neck and neck between you 2. Who's going to escape first? You guys can both win because I lost. But so that's a 2 and a 1, and your sanity, I believe, is still 2. So you should be able to move 5 spaces. Yep, so discover a room, and we'll move it closer for you guys since you're the only ones left. So 1, 2, discover another room. 3, 4, you can either discover the last room or search for an item. Where did you think your desk?
Oh, yeah.
Discover the last room. All right.
Cut down on the straight line.
We have a lot more straight lines than we have
We have
anything else.
12
Like we
straight
wanted it to be.
Make them curved.
I think we have 8 of the curves and 12 of the straight lines. So now you roll 1 dice for the monster, but it can't really be summoned with 1 dice. So more for sport. 1. All right, so now it's your turn. Because you 2 are the only ones left. You did not win it, you just discovered it. Oops, you okay? So that's a 0, but you have 2 sanity, so you get to move 2 spaces still.
Discover a room.
Like that, I assume. And then it'd be another movement to move into it, or you can search the item deck with your last movement.
Let's see if I get nothing again.
Drum roll. You found nothing. Alright, and then you roll 2 dice for the monster again.
Nothing.
You get a whole lot of nothing out of it. So that's, the monster got a 3, so it moves again. Yeah. So the monster moves 3 spaces, so it would move to that cross section, the 4-way intersection.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So if this monster gets marked and knocks him down to 0, knocks him out like he knocked you out, does he automatically get a win? Or
Nope,
no?
the monster just comes back, yeah. So he'd still have to search for an exit.
Gotcha.
You can do as many as 5 winners in a 6-player game, or as few as 0. What did you roll? Which ones? Those ones? So that's a 0 and a 2. Your sanity is 2 still, so you get to move 4 spaces. 1, and then the discovery room is 2. That's one of the curves, yeah. Moving into it would be 3. You can either discover an item or another room. Did you get nothing? Someone shuffled those real well. Lots of
We're just
nothing.
really good at
The
shooting.
first 2 were items.
The
Yeah,
first
well,
two.
the main one.
There's 18 nothings and 18 items, 3 for each item.
Can't blame someone.
So that's 1. You have sanity is 2, so you move 3 spaces. 1. Discover a room. So that is 2. See, that's where all the curves are. And then into 3. Now search in the deck for an item. Don't trust it anymore. No. So yeah, you roll 1 die for your, or you would have rolled 1 if I forgot to tell you to do that. But 1 can't do it anyways. So you would roll 2 dice for the monster. Got 3 on both. I know. That's another 3. Woo! Oh my God, you're just wrecking people with the monster right now. So that he moves 3 spaces. So he moves 3 spaces towards Merritt.
He's coming for you.
That's 1 plus your sanity of 2. So you get to move 3 spaces. So the first would be discovered. 2. And then you can either search for an item or discover the other room. That's your pile. More nothing? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna check you. And then Merrick, you would roll 1 die for. Okay, we're almost checking. 1 die for the monster. It's 2. Monster doesn't move. Surprisingly. So now it's your turn.